Welcome to Conversations with My Real Friends. I'm Jennifer. I'm here with my friend Janice.
Hi Jen, nice to be here.
Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about intellectual property. So there's all kinds of different property. And a lot of times as small business owners, we don't think about the intellectual property, right? The ideas, the creative pieces of what we do, and how important it is to protect them both internally and externally. So what is intellectual property and how do people need to protect it?
Great question. So let's start by, as you mentioned, there are different types of property. Mm-hmm. There's real property, things that you can touch, and there are dirt, right? And then there are intangibles, stuff. Correct. And then there are intangibles. These are ideas, thoughts, etc., that can either be under, in the U.S., copyrighted, trademarked, or patented. Right? These are different mechanisms that companies can use to take their thoughts and their ideas, their words, drawings, recipes can't be, but things along those lines. You also have something called trade secrets, and the recipe can be a trade secret. They need to think about that when forming their business. You and I have services. We don't necessarily have intellectual property, but I trademark the line Innovative General Counsel. Right? That is something that I do. So going through that process or thinking about what your company is going to do or not do. Now, let's talk about intellectual property can come in and out. So whenever you speak to people outside of your company, please make sure you have something called a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement, so that the information that you're providing, hopefully prior to the time that you provide it, is protected. And that can be a one-way confidentiality agreement, or it could be called a mutual confidentiality agreement, where the person that you're talking to also has some intellectual property in their own, and you're sharing the information. And this form of agreement allows for the free flow of that information, but to protect your stuff and my stuff. And again, when we're talking stuff, we're not talking physical stuff, but or ethereal stuff that we have. And then there are copyrights that you get on certain types of intellectual property, books, manuscript, music, and then trademarks that you can get either a service mark, like I mentioned, name of something, or a trademark if there's a good that we have a logo of some kind. And then for those really super smart people, there are patents that you can get for things as well.
Well, and with the things that you have, not only are we worried about protecting it from the outside, but our employees, managing that as well, correct?
Sure. Sometimes you have confidentiality agreements depending on what your business is about. Internally, they're called confidentiality invention agreements for people inside. And if somebody comes in and they're super smart, they get to keep their stuff as long as you have that mutual confidentiality agreement that we talked about. But we want to protect them from stealing the stuff as well. So when thinking about hiring your employees prior to that point in time, we need to make sure that the things that they do for you and you're paying them for that remains yours during the time that they're there. So in your new hire paperwork, you can consider that as well.
Absolutely. So clearly, what we think about has to be thought about. In a much broader way, and we need to be documenting what we're doing to protect ourselves and the people around us.
100%.
Great. So if someone needs some help in managing their intellectual property, has some questions, needs some support, how can they reach you?
Great question. Best place to reach me is at our website, millerhaga, HAGA.com, or I'm jmiller@millerhaga.com.
Great. Thanks, Janice, for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of Conversations with My Real Friends. We love having you.